Live from the Darien Ice House, it's Varsity Boys Hockey on the DAF Media Network this afternoon in the FCIAC rivalry game between the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us on this DAF Media broadcast of Varsity Boys Ice Hockey. We've got what we think will be a good one this afternoon between Darien, which comes in 8-4 overall, 3-1 in the FCIAC, and New Canaan, 7-5 overall, and 4-1 in the FCIAC. Of course, you throw out the records in any sport at any time when these two programs get together. It's, if not the best, well, one of the best high school rivalries in the state of Connecticut. We're going to take a look at the New Canaan starting lineup this afternoon. We're going to take a look at the New Canaan starting lineup, the first line, and it's a good one. Gunnar Granito, Bowden Gamble, Griffin Dean, Turner Ives, and Shane Pickering on defense. Dylan Shane is the goaltender for the New Canaan Rams. For the Darien Blue Wave, head coach Mac Budd, Sean Bradley, Jamison Moore, Sam Erickson, the first line, all sophomores. James Gregory, the senior, Matthew Stein, also on defense. And, of course, the senior goalie, one of the best in the state of Connecticut, Henry Feifel. I mentioned Mac Budd is the head coach of the Blue Wave. Clark Jones, the head coach of the New Canaan Rams. And we've got a ceremonial puck drop at center ice. Mikey Schneider, who has been battling cancer, a 12-year-old from Rowayton. This game is a fundraiser for him. He is the honorary team captain for the New Canaan Rams, very close to the Granito family, and we certainly wish him all the best in his fight against this dreaded disease. We will have more information on how you can help Mikey Schneider in his fight against cancer as we move ahead with this game. They are introducing the starting lineups. We, of course, did that already. Again, New Canaan comes in 7-5, 4-1 in the FCIAC. Darien 8-4 overall, 3-1 in the FCIAC. Darien won both regular season matchups last season, 8-1, and then 3-2 in overtime. In that overtime win, it was Bennett McDermott scoring in OT to give Darien the 3-2 win. We will take a quick break, and we will be back with more on this live stream here from the Darien Ice House right after this. Shannon Flaherty, a junior at Darien High School, will now sing the national anthem. Wonderful rendition of the national anthem. That was Darien junior Shannon Flaherty. And we are just about ready to drop the puck on this one. And joining me on the broadcast this afternoon, live from the Darien Ice House, Bill Kirby. So glad to have Bill with us again. And Colin Ives, a newcomer, Bill, to the broadcast booth here for DAF Media. But gentlemen, I went through the starting lineups, talked about the records, and as I said to the folks watching, you throw out the records in any sport on any given day when these two teams get together, one of the great rivalries in the state of Connecticut. Yeah, no question. Yeah, thrilled to be joined by my longtime friend Colin up here. And as he knows from having played in many of these over the years, and obviously kids in the thick of it now, it's a thrill for these two teams to play. And again, you can take the records and throw them out.
I think that's exactly right. I think that's exactly right, Bill. There's a heightened sense of excitement around this game every year. The fact that both these teams are normally always contending, which is no exception this year, makes it important. So I think the challenge for the kids is to keep their emotions in check and focus at the task at hand.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a couple times this year, Colin. I'm sure you'd agree. With a 20-game season at this point in the year, every game's a playoff game.
That's exactly right, and especially now in the CIA rankings, I think these are number 4 and number 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds right. And sorry, we're just having some technical difficulties here as we're about to drop the puck, but this should be a lot of fun. I have to say, having had 3 kids go through the high school, all three play multiple sports, there's nothing they enjoyed more than lacing them up or strapping on the cleats against New Canaan.
And we are underway live from the Darien Ice House on the DAF Media Network. We are also streaming on the NFHS Network. And again, this is a fundraiser too this afternoon for Mikey Schneider, who is battling cancer and who is the honorary team captain for the New Canaan Rams. There's Sam Erickson with the puck, dumps it into the neutral zone. You know, both of these teams, Darien and New Canaan, sophomores on that first line, so the underclassmen getting valuable varsity experience this season, some talented players.
No, that's exactly right, Damian. And Clark Jones, having been involved in the New Canaan Winter Club youth hockey, knows a lot of these kids, which probably helps with his confidence level. in putting him into play in big moments.
Yeah, and at this point of the season, I think sophomores almost have to throw them in the upper class. I don't know if it's fair to throw freshmen in the upper class mentality. A nice hit by Swiggett on the wall at the blue line. So we won't throw freshmen up there, but sophomores, juniors, seniors, neither Clark nor Mac care at this point in the season what year you are. They're going to get a chance to perform and hopefully perform well, regardless of whether they're wearing black or white.
C.J. Hathaway ahead to Bennett McDermott, and Eric Willis, the junior, takes the puck. Turnover in the neutral zone. New Canaan gets it back. We are just underway here from the Darien Ice House in Darien, Connecticut. Darien, New Canaan. The Blue Wave in the home white sweaters, moving from left to right on your screen. The blue numbers, and New Canaan in the black with the white and red trim, and the white numbers moving from right to left on your screen. Under 13 minutes remaining here in the first period, and Dylan Shane covers that up for the Rams.
Colin, what do you think Clark would like to see out of his team in the first 10 minutes of the game here today?
I think Clark's message to the troops was probably to enjoy themselves, but get into the flow of the game. I think the key for him is having the guys make smart decisions, move the puck quickly, get it deep, and try and put some pressure on Feifel.
This is a New Canaan team, Colin, that struggled out of the gate, losing 3 of their first 4, but they have turned it on of late, having won 4 of their last 5 games.
I think that's exactly right, Damien. A couple of those games I'd probably like to have back. Hamden was a game where they took 7 penalties, gave up 2 power play goals, and lost 3-1. And then there was a tough one to Simsbury, but they've definitely been better into the new year.
There's Stein and Griffin Dean fighting for the puck in the corner. Jamison Moore turns it over, and the stop by Feifel. Here's James Gregory, the senior defenseman.
Nice look up the wing there to Bradley.
Bradley, one of those 3 sophomores on that first line for Darien. And the way these two teams are skating out of the gate here, you can tell it is the Darien-New Canaan rivalry.
You definitely can. It's got a nice pace to it. The zone seems to be spread pretty well, and both teams have had some reasonable shots on goal 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I think, talking to Coach Bud before the game, easier said than done, but tried to preach to the kids to not get caught up in the moment, just play the game, enjoy it, stick to what they've been doing all year long, and if you do that, you'll be fine. But again, as Damien talked about in the open, you kind of throw everything out here, and I remember a couple years ago, I think my son was a senior on Darien. They won the first game 8 or 9-1 maybe, and a couple games later, it was tied with 5 minutes left in the third period.
There are very little secrets between these two.
Well, that's what's so cool about it is, I think it's changed a little bit more recently, but historically, tons of New Canaan kids played in, DYHA, and, they all play lacrosse together in the summer, and, they know each other well, and I think as the winter club's been focusing more recently on hockey, that's changed a bit, but everybody knows who's who, and, at the end of the day, they're friends, but they certainly want to beat each other for the next hour and a half.
Luke Johnston behind the Darien net.
Oh, almost an opportunity there.
Shane Pickering able to throw it on net there.
Working hard here. Great forecheck there.
Here's Swiggett.
Nice idea. Just missed McDermott streaking to the net on the left side.
And that is a Darien goal by Bennett McDermott.
Well, that falls into the category of there's no such thing as a bad shot. It was a bad angle, basically goal line extended, threw the puck on net. It just, Shane couldn't quite cover it, and Bennett was there to clean up the loose change, and Darien grabs a greasy one here 5 minutes in.
Yeah, he poked that in. Looks like the Rams were protesting a little bit, but the ref was right there and had his arm pointed at the goal pretty early on. So
Bennett McDermott picks up right where he left off the last time these two teams met in the regular season. when he scored in overtime. C.J. Hathaway going to get the assist for Darien on that McDermott goal. So the Blue Waves strike first here, under 10 minutes left in the first period.
Well, one of the things I was impressed with, Colin, I watched the Ridgefield and the Canaan game. A friend of mine was down scouting some of the Ridgefield kids and a couple weeks ago, and I thought the work rate for New Canaan, while Ridgefield was probably the more talented team.
Boy, Granito almost snuck one in there.
Sure did. Nice play by Gunnar there.
Similar type play with what Darien just scored on.
Yep, absolutely. And Gunnar Granito, of course, well known in these parts. The latest in a long line of terrific athletes in that family, and he is a terrific goal scorer, knows how to put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, no, Gunnar is quite a player, and he's got an amazing release. He can shoot from a lot of different angles, so he's hard to defend on. But to your point, Damien, he is certainly not going to surprise anyone, so he's a well-known commodity.
Yeah, he's going to be a marked man out here today. Yeah. Certainly offensively, I got to think he's the most talented player in black, Colin.
Yeah, for sure.
Here comes New Canaan. And Feifel with a save.
Wow, great action.
Puck in the crease, and all sorts of action in front of the Darien net.
Wow.
Feifel finally just getting his stick back and getting it the right way. And
wow, what a flurry.
Feifel with a stop, but Brendan Knightley had a golden opportunity early on in that sequence, just couldn't quite. As you take a look at the Darien student section there, a packed house for this one, even on a 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, as you would expect when these two rivals meet on any surface.
Bowden Gamble digging hard. Here he goes out front.
Canaan is all over Darien right now.
There's Hathaway in the corner. Puck floats in front of the New Canaan net. And the shot by McDermott.
Whistles one wide there. That had good mustard on it.
Wide of the near post. There's Gregory. And here comes the Rams.
Solid D there by Gregory.
Yeah, Gregory's a nice player. He's senior. He's the leader back there. Very calm and composed. He's got great reach, which makes him tough to play against. Long arms, long legs, and a long stick.
Yep.
He can move the puck up the ice quickly.
Swiggett gets it to Hathaway in the neutral zone. He throws it on net.
Nice low shot. Throws out a rebound.
Off of Dylan Shane's pad. Under 8 minutes remaining in the first period, 1-0 Darien.
The old shot pass, that really wasn't around, Colin, when we were playing with these fancy pads these guys have. They're so lively.
Damian Andrew, Colin Ives, and Bill Kirby joining you this afternoon on the DAF Media Network. Thanks so much for joining us. So glad we can bring it to you. Darien, New Canaan. Doesn't get any better than that.
New Canaan's putting good pressure on Darien, but they got to make sure that they get these pucks that come up the wall out of the zone, because the redirect can cost them. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, Darien was lucky, or I should say New Canaan was unlucky not to grab one there. They had Feifel on his back. He lost his stick. I'm not sure I could count all the shots they had there. I mean, none of them were heavy, but they were just trying to bang them in and just kept hitting defensemen and sticks and skates. Great flurry. Got off 4 or 5 shots there in about 15 seconds, I think.
There's a nice breakout.
Yeah, both teams have had a couple nice breakouts so far. It's when they get below the dots that the trouble seems to start offensively, which is not atypical for this level of hockey. Leon gets one through there. Shane was able to fight it off with his blocker.
Couple of shots there by Leon.
pace continues to be quick here.
Frenetic pace, under 6 minutes left in the first period, 1-0 Blue Wave.
Another thing we've talked about this year, at least I have, Colin, I've been beating the drum on it, is, the season's too short, and so are the periods. These kids are too good to be playing 15-minute periods.
Yeah.
You watch prep school now, they're playing 18s, and that extra 9 minutes, it's almost a full high school period, really, right? And I think it makes a huge difference.
No, it does, and it also, it forces coaches to play 4 lines, which
right.
You cannot get away with it.
Yeah.
In a game like with this kind of pace in an 18-minute.
No, I mean
period.
And there's some certainly very good teams that play 2.5, and that would be much more difficult to do in an 18-minute period. A 54-minute game, it really changes things. But I guess it's more ice, means more money, and the football powers that be that are in this run the state are probably not going to go for that. But I'll keep yapping about it anyway.
Well, the season gets condensed this time of year, and if you get a couple of snow games, then all of a sudden you can have 3 or 4 games a week, and that may be part of the resistance, but hard to
well,
tell.
At the end of the day, though, I think the kids are just too good, and the games are too short. I mean, they start doing this when they're 8.
Yeah.
At this point, they really need to be on the ice longer. Midgets play more time. I'm certainly not going to advocate for 20. I know they wouldn't do that, but 17 or 18 to me would make a lot more sense.
I agree. Boy, another. Bill, you brought up the Ridgefield game earlier. I completely agree with you. The score was 6-1, but for points in time in that game, it felt like New Canaan was doing very well against.
No, they were. The ice was tilted. I mean, that was Ridgefield's 3rd game in 5 days. We broadcast both of the Darien Ridgefield games, and a couple of those kids, Coach Gallagher runs them very hard, and they're certainly very, very talented without question. I mean, that top line is the best in the state, and maybe one of the better lines in the last 10 years. But they're on the ice an awful lot, and they looked tired out of the gate in that game, and New Canaan took it to them for a while, and I think it was 1-0 after 1, right?
Yeah,
and,
exactly right.
Even in the second period, I thought New Canaan carried the play a bit there, and then a couple bad breaks, a couple mistakes, and Cullinan and Forrest are just lethal, and
they will make you pay.
They will make you pay. They don't miss much. I think they had 5 of 6 that night.
I believe that's correct.
The 3rd member of that line's name's escaping me. I'm sorry, whoever that is up in Ridgefield, and Coach Gallagher. But great squad, and again a very talented line. Those 3, Van Weiss is a nice player on both the blue line and on the second line forward. They're quite good, and undefeated right now. But New Canaan, gave them all they could handle there for a while, and that was fun to watch.
I've been impressed with the parity around the CIAC away from Ridgefield, even though I do think on the right night they can be had. Not to take anything away from them.
No, not at all. They're the best team in the state from what I've seen, hands down. But
Darien played them very tough.
Darien, outshot them probably 2-1 in that second game, and the first game was overtime. But you've got to convert your chances, and Darien was not able to do that. I think they were 0 for 6 that night on the power play, and you've got to take advantage of both the PP and good looks when you get it.
Well, we have a little break in the action right here. 3:43 remaining in the first period. Want to give a shout out to our DAF Media production crew, our director, Jack Roberson, camera 1, Sarah Bogdan, and in the penalty box, our ice level camera, our ISO camera, is Katie Duggan. And all student volunteers do a tremendous job bringing you these broadcasts. We are live from the Darien Ice House. The Blue Wave lead the New Canaan Rams 1-0 here with under 4 minutes left in the first period.
Yeah, really haven't had a lot of whistles, Colin. He's been pretty. These kids are going to be gassed, and they'll be happy to get to the locker room here in a few minutes, get some water, and get a blow.
No, I think that's right. It's been back and forth. It feels like New Canaan's had more quality chances, but Darien continues to put pressure on Dylan Shane, and those defensemen are going to have to make sure that they do not let the Darien forwards get in for an extra poke or two, because they are definitely being aggressive, crashing.
Well, as you know, even in the NHL level, there's very few Sports Center top 10 goals. 80% of them are scored within 3 feet of the goal, and rebounds and the like. So, cleaning up those loose pucks are going to be important for both teams, really.
Colin and Bill, we talked about how big this rivalry is as Gregory takes a shot that sails wide of the far post. We have 147 concurrent views right now on our YouTube platform.
Wow.
So certainly interest in this game. We want to thank all of you for tuning in and watching us. Damian Andrew with Colin Ives, Bill Kirby. And we've got a good one here as both teams skating hard. Darien does have the 1-goal lead right now with approaching 2 minutes left in the opening period.
Been a very clean game so far.
Yeah, it has been, what you want to see. I mean, again, I know both coaches are, telling the kids to enjoy it and just play smart, play clean, play discipline. Both these guys preach that. Both great coaches, in my opinion. But again, the kids get wound up. They're 15, 16, 17, 18, and boys will be boys, as we all know.
As we talked about earlier, a lot at stake here too. So these 2 points, or 9 points if you consider the CIAC standings, are very important, and neither team can afford to give any amount of power plays to the other.
That easily, Gunnar was looking for a call there, and he easily could have gotten one for sure. Just a little delay in Stein's check there, but he did have the puck. It wasn't like he didn't have the puck, I guess, is how the ref probably saw it.
Well, it looks like he got Gregory on a slash there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Away from the play, puck was down the other end, slashed a Canaan player on the way to the bench, I guess.
Just as you were talking about what a clean game this has been, we have our first penalty as Darien takes the first penalty. James Gregory on a slash. He'll head to the box, and for the next minute 14 of this period, New Canaan will be a man up on the power play as we have an offensive zone face-off for the Rams here.
New Canaan comes out with its first line of Granito, Dean, and Gamble, with Ives and Wheatfeld on the point. We'll see if they can muster something here.
Granito and Dayleader on the face-off.
Is that the brain Ives, or is that the other Ives?
That is Turner, the senior. Oh, good shot by Granito.
A shot, and Henry Feifel with the save.
Gunner's going to want that one back. Buried it right in his gut. It might have been something in the 5-hole, but I'm pretty sure he was going top corner there. Just didn't quite get it, despite those spectacular mitts we were talking about earlier.
Another offensive zone face-off here for the Rams. Slides in front of the Darien net.
Solid hit by Dean there in the corner on Massey. That had to hurt a little bit.
Here comes Wheatfeld.
To Granito. And the rebound, that's a goal for New Canaan as Griffin Dean, the sophomore, puts in the rebound and beats Henry Feifel on the weak side with 37.5 seconds left in the first period. We're going to take another look at this.
It looks like Wheatfeld pushes it in. Granito fans on the shot, but Bowden Gamble takes one, and the rebound goes to Dean, who bangs it in. So 1-1, 37.5 seconds left.
That's big. Big for New Canaan.
Yep, big goal for the Rams late in the first period to get on the board, and they have tied this up in what has been a very entertaining first period here.
Well, it's, an undisciplined penalty by Darien, and New Canaan capitalizes on it. Just not what you want to do in the last minute. You kind of get out of here with a 1-0 lead. Not what you want to do if you're Darien anyway, and play away from the puck. It's almost an offensive zone penalty, but puck was 150 feet away from that infraction. I imagine someone's going to hear about that between the periods.
You think?
And so New Canaan able to score on the power play late in the first period. We've got a good one here from the Darien Ice House. 1-1 after 1. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with more live hockey on the DAF Media Network.
If you live in Darien, most likely you've benefited from the Darien Foundation. Since our founding in 1998, we've provided more than $4 million in grants to the Darien Emergency Services, public schools, and community organizations.
My husband and I are so happy to be raising our 4 young children in Darien. Over the years, I have admired the projects that the Darien Foundation has supported, and I'm excited to be a member of the board helping to further support the Foundation's mission. Kids' eyes light up when they talk about learning and eating in the edible garden at Tokenique School. It certainly gives us peace of mind to know that if and when the next storm hits town, the Darien Library will always have power thanks to the Darien Foundation providing a generator.
This past year, the Darien Foundation has awarded $420,000 in grants to enhance our community. After years of being the only high school stadium in Fairfield County without lighting, Friday night lights came to Darien last fall. The Darien Lights Brigade led the charge, working with neighbors and town officials. The Darien Foundation came in with a grant to meet the crucial funding deadline. Now field hockey, football, soccer, and lacrosse players can play under the stadium lights. A team of high school students offer interactive STEM workshops alive with experiments in robotics, chemistry, and engineering to elementary school kids in Darien. The week-long summer camp and monthly Sunday programs have provided over 1,200 hours of hands-on learning to hundreds of grade school students. Built in 1778, the historic Mather Homestead was a safe house for locals to hide valuables and ammunition from the British Army. Owned by one family for over 2 centuries, the home was gifted to the Mather Foundation last year. Visitors can truly experience 18th century life via the original furnishings, family heirlooms, architectural details, and antique fireplaces. DAF Media puts high school students behind the cameras to live stream youth athletic games and community events. Some 30 student volunteers rotate to produce several live broadcasts each week, overseen by veteran TV anchor Damian Andrew. DAF Media leverages cutting-edge computer and camera technology to offer a fun and collaborative STEM learning experience. Parents and fans can watch games anywhere around the world. Darien is one of only a handful of towns in the United States to have a dedicated Boy Scout campground and cabin. Over 300 boys participate in 2 troops and 4 Cub Scout packs, and that number keeps growing. This June, ground will break on a new cabin and an expansion to the campground property.
Many of the grants we've given out have helped close capital funding gaps at several of our local nonprofit organizations. You can drive all over town and see projects that we've underwritten or supported, from the expansive renovations at the YMCA, to the playground by the Sound and flagpole at Weed Beach, to the new sound system at the Darien Arts Center, and to the special operations vehicle at Darien EMS Post 53. I'm personally grateful to see my own family reap the benefits from the grants endowed by the Darien Foundation.
For 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien and offering our community organizations, emergency services, and schools a local resource to help them pursue innovation and excellence. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
We are live here on the DAF Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside Colin Ives and Bill Kirby as the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams come back onto the ice, about ready to start the second period. Again, a shout out to our DAF Media production crew, Jack Roberson, our director, Sarah Bogdan, camera one, and our ISO camera here from ice level is Katie Duggan. It's 1-1 after the first period. Again, about ready to start the second period. Damian Andrew alongside Bill Kirby and Colin Ives as we are just about ready to drop the puck on the second 15 minutes of this one. So we take a look at the fan section. Tied at 1, about ready to drop the puck on the second period. Again, Damian Andrew alongside Colin Ives and Bill Kirby. Gentlemen, if the second period is anything like the first period, we're in for another good one.
Yeah, we certainly are, Damian. That was a very fast-paced period. Shots, I think, were pretty close to even, Bill.
Yeah, I had them 10-10.
You know, both teams had some quality chances, strong goaltending, very few mistakes, with exception maybe the penalty Darien took late in the period. But a very solid game to start.
Yeah, no, it was a fun period. Good action both ways, as we said. You know, shots were level, and aside from kind of a late penalty, a very clean game both ways, and I think that was the only penalty of the period, if I'm not mistaken.
It was. The penalty that Gregory took, slashing, was the only penalty of the first period. Bennett McDermott scored first for the Darien Blue Wave. Puck in front of the New Canaan net, and it slides into the corner, and Griffin Dean, the sophomore, scored New Canaan's goal late in the first period on the power play. We are just underway here in the second period. Darien New Canaan, or New Canaan Darien, depending on what side you're on, and it's tied at 1.
Well, you want to win those last 2 minutes of every period, and certainly New Canaan with the late goal won that and kind of took maybe what little momentum Darien had, simply because Darien had the lead prior to that. But again, as we said, pretty level period both ways, and I would imagine both coaches probably pretty pleased with their play, Colin.
I would think so. New Canaan has struggled at times to get quality shots. They seem to get a lot of shots, but not necessarily quality ones. I thought that period they got a lot of quality shots to the net.
Well, they had that one shift where you kind of had a turnover. Darien coming out of their own end. Defenseman had poor gap control, and that led to 5 or 6 shots in a short span. Feifel lost his stick, and I alluded to it in the first period. New Canaan was fairly unlucky that they didn't score there because they were all over them. And it's just those little things where a sloppy pass, leaving your zone, defenseman gets caught flat-footed, it led to
oh boy, Shane.
Led to a bunch of good looks for New Canaan, which if you're Coach Bud was probably avoidable by just some solid common sense hockey play.
New Canaan in the black sweaters with the white numbers, skating from left to right. Darien in the home white sweaters with the blue trim, skating from right to left.
Gonna get the ice there.
Yeah, Gregory was a little off the mark. He and Swiggett were not on the same page there, and we'll have a face-off down to Feifel's left, it looks like. Yeah.
An offensive zone face-off for the Rams here. 12:42 left in the second period. Tied at 1. Damian Andrew, Colin Ives, Bill Kirby joining you. Thanks for joining us on the DAF Media Network. That puck sails over the crossbar into the netting.
Granito had a point-blank look there, albeit off the backhand, but just zipped it a little bit high is what it looked like.
Another one Gunner's going to want back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Again, we've talked about how good his hands are, and he gets it in tight like that, Darien's going to be in trouble.
There's Gunnar Granito with the puck.
Another
Throws
nice,
the backhand on net.
Swipe at that, and then the rebound. Feifel was able to grab both of them. Speaking of Gunnar, I got to give a shout out to my favorite Granito, who's currently watching from the frozen tundra of Ann Arbor. I think it's 25 below today. It's so cold that they actually canceled classes and sports. So Catherine, stay warm and keep Chandler out of trouble. Good look from the point there by number 14. Gavin Reed.
Gavin Reed, and here goes Knightley. Cycling down low. Well, it looked like it was almost off, but I guess it was okay.
I think the refs have done a nice job. I mean,
wow,
and
great
that's
play.
a new Canaan goal.
That looked like Campbell Lewis, who drove that thing low and threw it across
to Brendan Knightley. And Brendan Knightley, the senior, number 7, will be credited with the goal. As we take another look at this from our main camera, can't really see it all that well from that angle.
Right, that camera's down, okay. Yeah, and he kind of threw it on net. I guess, again, somewhat similar, Colin, to Darien's goal.
Yeah, this is it's a senior line.
Oh, wow.
Looks
like Feifel won the argument.
Wow.
And they're going
to call it back.
They're calling a high stick, it looks like.
Disallow this goal. So no goal by Knightley.
Boy, it'd be nice if we could get another look at that, even from a. Can we fire that one up again from a distance?
Coach Jones down looking for an explanation here. And the call seemed to come in late on that one. But
yeah, well, the refs met. Feifel was seemingly pretty upset about it. He saw something he didn't like, clearly grabbed the ref's attention, and I did not see where each ref was, but they had a conference, and one called it good, and maybe the guy that was up top had a better angle at it, and again, I believe it was a high stick. As most of you know, if you touch the puck above your shoulder, above the crossbar, I should say, they're going to wave that off as no goal. That's a high stick.
We've got a stoppage in play here, and Bill and Colin want to apologize to you and our viewers. Usually we have 4 cameras. Our 2 cameras that we use quite a bit in the 2 zones are down today, so we apologize for that. So we're just looking at 2 angles. So it is 1-1.
Here we come, Mike.
And a nice.
And it looks like it's going to be a penalty against Darien.
Yeah, Shane started to head off there, and then the whistle blew, so he got to save himself some effort.
So Brian Zaffino takes the penalty, and he will head to the box. 11:01.
Buchanan seems to have had the momentum most of this period, and this power play now is an opportunity to try and get the goal that was called back for them. It's going to be Granito, Dean, and Gamble with Wheatfelt and Turner Ives.
So it's Zaffino taking the penalty, an interference call. And so New Canaan goes back on the power play. They ended the first period on the power play and were able to get a goal on a Griffin Dean.
Just missed there, Wheatfelt. That was a nice breakout. I like that structure.
Wheatfelt has been very strong breaking the puck out of the zone because he can certainly skate it. Has good poise and good vision. And getting, as you know, Bill, that puck into the zone and setting it up is key to these power plays.
Yeah, indeed, no question. Yeah, Wheatfelt, I know a lot of the kids out here. It's certainly, I've coached some Deans and Granitos and know the Gamble family well, but I don't know the Wheatfelts. But he's a nice player. He's having a great game so far. You know, and that's another thing I think that makes this this game so special. It's you know, the towns have so much in common. You know, first and foremost, both great academic institutions, two of the best high schools in the state. Here comes Gunner on a breakaway, couldn't quite get up. Pfeiffer with 2 saves. It was good defense and a nice play by Gunner on the backhand. Couldn't quite get good wood on it. That's too many men on the ice for New Canaan. Wow, totally missed that. Right in front of the ref.
Yeah, he got away with that.
6 guys right there, and one of them played the puck.
Nice block by Gregory as the puck.
Cannon's couple of odd man rushes they've given up on this power play. Got to be a little bit careful here.
And there's a 3-on-1 the other way here, and for Black.
Good save there off a backhand by O'Hare by Feifel.
There's another familiar name for me. I love the O'Hares.
Yep.
Great family.
Just 5 seconds left on the New Canaan power play. 9:07 remaining in the second period. This game.
Wow. Off the face-off, another quick shot there for New Canaan, but Feifel is up to the task.
Did that one get through? I was having technical difficulties there. And New Canaan's quickly jumped out to a 8-2 shot advantage here in the second. Power plays helped out a little bit, but Coach Bud's got to settle the kids down and start playing some smart hockey here.
Big hit.
New Canaan's taking it to him. You know, as clean as this game has been so far, it's the kind of game that very quickly could get very physical. That would not be out of the question by any stretch.
It's certainly been a more physical period, Bill. But again, 1-1 game. Guys got to be careful. Oh boy!
Oh Jesus! Hate to see that. That's just dumb.
And that will be a penalty on Massey, as he will head to the box.
Yeah, he took out Lewis from behind. Not a smart play. Giving New Canaan another power play here halfway through the second period.
Rams go back on the power play for the next 2 minutes. 8:11 remaining in the second period. We are tied at 1, Darien and New Canaan. And again, thanks for watching on the DAF Media Network and also on the NFHS Network. Massey, the cross-checking penalty. Again, we are bringing you this stream on the DAF Media Network and the NFHS Network, which is New Canaan's platform. Our thanks to everybody at New Canaan, Athletic Director Jay Egan, and NCTV, Roman Cebulski and his crew. Under 8 minutes left in the second. 1:23 left on the power play.
Oh boy.
Quick wrap around there to no avail by the Rams. And they'll go back and regroup at center ice.
There's Wheatfeld. Gives it to Granito. He skates in,
There
and
he
that's a goal. Gunnar Granito with a big goal. Little wrist shot. 7:18 left in the second period. And Gunnar Granito with a nice play.
That's Gunnar doing what he does best. A quick move and a quick move around one defender and then a quick release.
No, there's a great example of those quick hands we were talking about earlier, and looks like all that golf's paying off after all. No, really nice shot by Gunnar. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Great kid, great player, great goal.
Darien's playing an aggressive man down and attacking the puck at all points, and it was giving New Canaan problems, but if you can step around a guy, it's going to create seams, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, the winger kind of whiffed there as he went out to the half wall, tried to take the puck away, had every chance to poke check it away, missed, and that gave Gunnar a lot of open ice. He was able to walk in, and I believe he beat him near side top corner.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, Darien's going to have to settle down here and just stay out of the box. They're probably a touch deeper in my opinion than New Canaan, but right now, they're getting outworked by the Rams a little bit, and they've taken a couple of dumb penalties. Nice pass by Swiggett there.
That shot
That's
by
one
Zaffino.
You want that to find the net if you can. Whistled it wide.
Buchanan's going to take an ice there, but that was the right play at
Absolutely.
that time.
Well, that's another thing, Colin, I think they have to change too, right? In prep school and college, you can't change after an ice.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if these guys were really gassed, that would force, might force Clark to take a timeout, and instead they ice it, get a whistle, and get fresh legs out there.
Yep.
And that would be an easy change to make, in my opinion. I know all the prep school coaches were thrilled when they changed that rule 3 or 4 years ago. Nice play by Dyer there, blocked by, looked like O'Hare, I think. Picorni throwing his weight around there a little bit. Darien picks up the loose change, blows an edge.
Oh, nice move by Ong. Get that out of the zone.
Ankle breaker there by 11. Bennett Ong, okay. The lacrosse goalie, is that right, Colin?
I believe so. I know he's a lacrosse player.
I recognize the name a little bit.
O'Hare has
Ooh,
his
boy, that was
pass
close.
intercepted by Conway, throws it on net. Nice stop by Dylan Shane.
Darien seizing a little momentum here, got the Rams running around a touch.
Yeah, 2 good shifts in a row here for White. It looks like Coach Bud's throwing his 4th line out here, trying to throw their weight a little bit around with Conway, Martens, and Lau. A nice low shot from the point there.
Conway tries to put
Great
it in
look
off the
by,
rebound.
oh, geez. Puck hops over his stick. It's a nice low to high there by Lau out to Stein. He couldn't quite corral it, though.
Here comes Walker Kerr, and it looks like it's just offsides.
You know, Colin, that's a play on the point there for Darien where if the defender's in a step or two, right, he's got a chance to bobble it and it doesn't hop over. But if he's got his skates on the blue line, there's no margin for error. You know, if he were in a little bit further, that puck would still be in the offensive zone for Darien.
Walker Kerr, you just mentioned, Colin, one of 5 captains on this New Canaan team. Jack O'Hare, Gunnar Granito, who we've talked about quite a bit, Turner Ives, Kerr, and Shane Pickering. Under 5 minutes left in the second period, 2-1 New Canaan. Rams scoring both of their goals on the power play.
It's an interesting point you bring up, Damon. The 5 captains have provided some very good leadership for this team and been together a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's helped them keep their the attitude positive in the room through a little bit of a rocky start, and it feels like they're starting to come around at just the right time.
Darien turns it over in the neutral zone.
Nice play there by Turner at the red line. I see he's out there partnered with my my former teammate Sean Wills. Another great family from New Canaan.
Yep. Eric has been very solid this year, number 5.
I'm gonna have to give Willsy grief. I see he's wearing my number and not Sean's. I guess 23 wasn't available.
Oh, nice pass there.
Yeah, great look by Bradley to Moore. One of the might have been Wills getting a stick on that one. Deflected it up high and out of play.
Moore, point blank. He was right there. Had a good look at it. Again, a shout out to our DAF media production crew, Jack Roberson, Sarah Bogdan, and Katie Duggan in the penalty box, bringing you those ice level shots.
Oh boy, Pickering tried to send that around, got picked off.
There's a whiff on the shot from the point.
And Sam Ives with a nice play on defense for New Canaan.
This has been a newer line for New Canaan as they try to get a little bit more energy beyond the first 2 lines. It's been Sam Ives, Carter Spain, and Carter Ellis, and also Sam Augustine quite a bit. Bill, I think it's important too when a league like this, you know a lot about each other too, to try and give opponents a different look than maybe they're expecting.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's
especially with the advent of DAF telecasts, et cetera. People are able to scout. I mean that honestly. I know that New Canaan watched both those Ridgefield games, and you can certainly learn a lot. And film wasn't always something that these teams had access to. That's for sure. Certainly not quality film.
It's such a great tool too, and a great teaching tool. We have about half our. Oh, nice move by Bennett there. Couldn't quite finish it.
Swiggett tried to knock it in from a weird angle.
Oh my God, Blake.
And Swiggett breaks his stick.
No, I only laughed because I saw Blake in blue line buying another new stick, and he just broke his stick there. He said that's his 6th one, so that's his now 7th stick he's broken in the last month.
At least they're only $285.
Yeah, poor Hank, my God. It was a lot easier when they were $12 when we were kids, Colin.
Well, Bill, Jamie Trops perfectly fine with
yeah, no,
sticks,
Hank will be in blue line probably before the night's out.
And Corney was right there on the doorstep.
Gregory whistled one. He couldn't quite pick up the rebound. Partner's wide open. There he goes. He found him.
Here's Stein again with the puck. Whiffs on
his
it.
Partner whiffed. Now we got a 3-on-1, although O'Hare's gassed. He's going to go for a change.
Brendan Knightley with the puck.
Boy, Lewis had a chance for a 2-on-1 there. But I think you're right, Bill. They were all gassed.
That's smart. Rather get caught than you got to back check if it goes the other way. And you like to see kids making good decisions. You certainly want to try and go score a goal. But if you've been out there, they were kind of pinned down in their zone for a bit there. Played a lot of defense. It was a very smart play by Jack heading off the ice there.
Boy, it sure felt New Canaan was skating downhill for most of this period, but just as quickly in the second half of this period.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit last
back.
5 minutes for sure.
But the fatigue does set in, and you can get trapped.
Both teams have been skating hard this afternoon.
Well, I think it's tough in a game like this where the kids get so amped up. Sometimes it takes you a while to get your legs settled down and get your wind going, and that's hard too.
Yep.
It's been a while since that's happened to me, but I've certainly watched my kids go through it the last couple of years and struggle, and particularly in a game like this where there's so much mental stuff going on.
That was Bowden Gamble, makes a nice play picking off a pass and goes in.
Yeah, nice intercept by Gamble.
Gamble gets the 12th shot of the period there for the Rams. Darien's battled back a little bit here to kind of level the play a bit, but nice move by Erickson there. Couldn't quite finish. Walker Kerr kind of regained his footing and made a nice play there to kind of rally. He was beat for a second.
Boy,
here's Moore in the corner with the puck.
Nice look. Another
nice block there
by Kerr. Yeah, kind of unconventionally turned his back, but got the job done.
Gregory gets it at the blue line, throws it on net, sails wide of the far post.
Darien's been doing a good job with the cycle this period. That's allowed him to create a lot of pressure down here. We've got a bird's eye look. It's right above us. Moore tried to tip that, just tipped it wide. Another sustained shift here going on. The Rams are going to be gassed once they either get a whistle or get this out of here.
Boy.
Gregory.
Oh, nice save by Shane.
Nice save by Dylan Shane. 28.1 seconds left in the second period. 2-1 New Canaan. And again, both of those goals coming on the power play. As we take a look at the crowd here at the Darien Ice House, just a great atmosphere. And Bill, you and I have talked so many times when they pack this place, it's really an electric atmosphere for a small barn.
No, it's really fun. I mean, a great environment for the kids to play in, and it's fun when the students, both tons of parents here, both good student sections today. It's great opportunity, great environment.
Darien's putting that cycle to work pretty well, as you mentioned, Bill, and what that does is it gets New Canaan chasing them around down low, and the points get open for Darien. And there have been a couple of good shots through traffic. But
they've done a nice job going low to high today, which they don't always do. That's something I know they've worked on.
And that will do it for the second period, as both teams will head to their respective locker rooms. New Canaan goes up on a power play goal by Gunnar Granito. 2-1, Rams in front after the second period. We'll be back with third period action. We are live on the DAF Media Network.
If you live in Darien, most likely you've benefited from the Darien Foundation. Since our founding in 1998, we've provided more than $4 million in grants to the Darien Emergency Services, public schools, and community organizations.
My husband and I are so happy to be raising our 4 young children in Darien. Over the years, I have admired the projects that the Darien Foundation has supported, and I'm excited to be a member of the board helping to further support the Foundation's mission. Kids' eyes light up when they talk about learning and eating in the edible garden at Tokenique School. It certainly gives us peace of mind to know that if and when the next storm hits town, the Darien Library will always have power thanks to the Darien Foundation providing a generator.
This past year, the Darien Foundation has awarded $420,000 in grants to enhance our community. After years of being the only high school stadium in Fairfield County without lighting, Friday Night Lights came to Darien last fall. The Darien Lights Brigade led the charge, working with neighbors and town officials. The Darien Foundation came in with a grant to meet the crucial funding deadline. Now field hockey, football, soccer, and lacrosse players can play under the stadium lights. A team of high school students offer interactive STEM workshops alive with experiments in robotics, chemistry, and engineering to elementary school kids in Darien. The week-long summer camp and monthly Sunday programs have provided over 1,200 hours of hands-on learning to hundreds of grade school students. Built in 1778, the historic Mather Homestead was a safe house for locals to hide valuables and ammunition from the British Army. Owned by one family for over 2 centuries, the home was gifted to the Mather Foundation last year. Visitors can truly experience 18th century life via the original furnishings, family heirlooms, architectural details, and antique fireplaces. DAF Media puts high school students behind the cameras to live stream youth athletic games and community events. Some 30 student volunteers rotate to produce several live broadcasts each week, overseen by veteran TV anchor Damian Andrew. DAF Media leverages cutting-edge computer and camera technology to offer a fun and collaborative STEM learning experience. Parents and fans can watch games anywhere around the world. Darien is one of only a handful of towns in the United States to have a dedicated Boy Scout campground and cabin. Over 300 boys participate in 2 troops and 4 Cub Scout packs, and that number keeps growing. This June, ground will break on a new cabin and an expansion to the campground property.
Many of the grants we've given out have helped close capital funding gaps at several of our local nonprofit organizations. You can drive all over town and see projects that we've underwritten or supported, from the expansive renovations at the YMCA, to the playground by the Sound and flagpole at Weed Beach, to the new sound system at the Darien Arts Center, and to the special operations vehicle at Darien EMS Post 53. I'm personally grateful to see my own family reap the benefits from the grants endowed by the Darien Foundation.
For 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien and offering our community organizations, emergency services, and schools a local resource to help them pursue innovation and excellence. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
We are back live here on the DAF Media Network, about to drop the puck on the third period. Darien, New Canaan. The Rams lead 2-1, 2 power play goals, one coming late first period, one coming in the second period. Gunnar Granito scoring the second period goal, and Griffin Dean, the sophomore, scoring the Rams goal in the first period. Bennett McDermott credited with the Darien Blue Wave goal in the first period. Just underway in the third period here. Damian Andrew, Colin Ives, and Bill Kirby. So happy you could join us for this live on the DAF Network and on the NFHS Network. Want to thank everybody for watching what has been an entertaining hockey game from the Darien Ice House.
Yeah, it's been a good one. Colin, what do you think? What do you think Coach Jones had to say between the second and third?
I think he's got to be happy with the way his gang is playing. I'm sure he wants that puck out of the zone and maybe a little bit less running around, so that the puck comes up to the wingers. It's actually getting out, and if there's nothing there, get it into the neutral zone. But away from that, I got to believe he's pretty happy with the way they're playing, and they want to continue to put, get shots on Feifel, because he's not going to give anything away.
No, it's got a nice game plan. I think when I was talking to him quickly before the game, he just wanted to keep things simple, not get caught up in the moment, and I think the kids have done exactly that. They've they've played well. Conversely, if you're Coach Budd, I think you need to get more pucks to the net. I had New Canaan with 13 shots in the second period to Darien 7, and therefore, after a 10-10 period, you got 23-17 if my math works in favor of New Canaan, and that's just not enough rubber on Shane if you're rooting for the home team here. Nice pass there by Zaffino up the middle to Moore, but puck's quickly turned over. Here comes O'Hare down the corner.
This line's been solid for New Canaan tonight.
Had a nice night, working hard.
Senior line I'm referring to of Lewis, Knightley, and Jack O'Hare.
Jamison Moore out to Zaffino, and nice stop by Dylan Shane on the Zaffino shot. The senior forward able to get a good look, and Shane with a nice save.
This sophomore line does a very good job for Darien of getting that center high. That's the second time. I mean, he's literally, Bill, above the circles, but you're hard to cover when you're that high. And they know to look for him.
Yeah, no, it's there. They work. I get on the ice occasionally with these guys, and Max really another good shot there for the White. Max works on a lot of college pro level drills. There, some of the kids struggle with a little bit, but but they're told to play the right way and generally do a pretty good job with it.
We've got a whistle here, a little stoppage. While we have a moment, just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have over 250 live views right now. So thanks for your interest in this game and what the DAF Media Network is doing. Shout out to our DAF Media production crew, Jack Roberson, Sarah Bogdan, and Katie Duggan down in the press box. Ice level shot. 2-1 New Canaan.
Looks like Mac is trying to match lines a little bit there. He tried to put on a late change, and certainly as the home team coach, he has that right, but a little bit too late. But they got waved off. They got waved off.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see the refs are paying attention. That you've got a certain amount of time to do it, and if you don't, that's your mistake. Yeah, I think in terms of the home team here, if you're Darien, you want to get more shots this period. You also want to win this first 5 minutes if you can, and just kind of break the game down into thirds and really kind of jump on them here. You got 15 minutes to try and bury 2 or 3 goals and get yourself first tied up and then try and grab a lead.
Just minutes into this third period. Great crowd, as we've mentioned throughout here at the Ice House. And here comes the Rams off the board. Gregory picks it up.
Buchanan's got to get a sorely needed change here. Oh,
nearly a Darien turnover. Griffin Martins takes it into the neutral zone. He goes down, and it's picked up by Conway.
And this line brought some good energy in the last 5 minutes in the second there, and Coach Bud's looking to see if they can do it again. They had a really nice shift there, which came after another nice shift for Darien.
Shift change for the Wave. That line of McDermott, Hathaway,
Darien's putting some good pressure on here.
Well, there's no question if they settle down when they did. We talked about the cycle and how well they did with it. They certainly would like to do more of that, a little more of that here in the third. Nice move by Gregory there behind the net. Hits a skate on the at the blue line, pops back in. Nice reversal there, Stein to Gregory, and the Wave will try and break out.
McDermott loses the puck in the neutral zone, and New Canaan dumps it into the Darien zone. Here come the Rams. Loose puck in the neutral zone.
Looks like Swiggett found a new twig between the second and third there, so he's good to go here.
Blake Swiggett broke his stick in the second period. What'd you say, Bill? His 7th this season?
I was talking to Jamie as I got here, I guess earlier this afternoon, and Blake was buying a new stick, and he said he's broken 6 prior to tonight, so I think that makes 7, which is that's a new set of irons and maybe a new driver as well.
Might be able to get some hybrids too. That's a goal for Darien.
Nice pass in there by the sophomore line. And a great finish by Erickson.
So Sam Erickson scores here. Nice look.
Great look by Jamison Moore. That's a really nice play. Spain never had a chance there.
And great job by Arcady Duggan as the Darien faithful come alive here. 9:46 remaining in the third period, and we are all square.
We buried that one where Mama hides the cookies, as Pucci would say.
No, that was a nice shot. Beat Shane near side high, but not a lot he could do about that.
No, not at all. He had no chance. And you were just talking about how well that line moves the puck a second ago, Colin.
Yep.
They got a lot of poise and a lot of skill for sophomores. I know Coach Bud's been thrilled with their play thus far.
So we are back to even here with about 9 minutes remaining in the third period.
Nice poke check by Griffin Dean.
Yeah, real nice play by Dean there. Must have learned that from Julia. Certainly not Pete. Maybe Brooke. I coach Brooke, so maybe Brooke taught him that one. Yeah, and I'd say, New Canaan's probably had the better of the play. I mean, they certainly took advantage of their power plays, which is huge, winning the special teams battle. But I'd say, 2-2 is fitting with 10 minutes left here. That's really where it should be.
I think that's right. I think New Canaan's got to regroup a little bit here, try and regain some little bit of momentum. But we got a hockey game with 9 minutes to go. That's for sure.
Yeah, those 1- and 2-goal leads are tough. It just can change so quickly, and then you're starting to grab the stick a little tighter. And but this is fun. This is this is why you do it. It's why you practice so hard. It's why you go to body tuning. You put in all the time and effort in the off season to get out here and compete against your major your rival.
Nope, that's exactly right.
Ooh. And that puck sails up into the stands. Everybody's okay.
On that note,
good territorial face-off for Darien.
A shout-out real quick to a big Blue Wave puck fan who's watching from Dallas, Texas tonight. We're sending good wishes down to Marshall Harkrider. I hope you've got your black number 6 sweater on, buddy, and get well soon. We're all cheering for you.
Absolutely. Loose puck in front of the Darien net here.
I think Safino should worry more about the puck than trying to hook the New Canaan player there.
Oh,
yep, looks like White's going on the power play here.
They're going to get Lewis on a reach there.
Yeah, he had him pretty good under the arm, I think. Yep. That's I'm sure I don't think you can argue with that call.
So Campbell Lewis will head to the box for New Canaan as he takes the penalty.
This will be Darien's first power play of the night. Is that correct?
I think so.
It is. So Darien goes on the power play for the first time in this game against its rival. 8:10 left in the third. Darien 2, New Canaan 2, and Darien goes on the power play for the next 2 minutes.
The Wave have struggled with their power play of late. I know it's been a source of frustration for Coach Bud, but this is big kill for the Rams, and certainly a big opportunity for White.
Hathaway and Swiggett nearly put the rebound between the pipes. There's
one of the things the Waves just haven't been patient. It looks like here they're exerting a little more patience. You know, you watch prep play, and they just take their time, move it around the perimeter, and look for the back door, which they did twice against Darien a couple weeks ago. Nice patience by Hathaway there.
Put like nice low shots on. Those are the ones you want to do. They can get deflected.
Well, and again, we've seen it twice tonight with those rebounds. That's
a goal. Gregory, the shot from the point, and I don't think it touched anybody's stick.
Marshall, that's for you, buddy. James fires one home.
And we'll take another look at this. Yeah, and I don't think that touched anybody's stick. That was.
They moved it across the blue line, and Shane was sliding to get over, and then Gregory went the other way, which is a smart play.
Hudson Bacorny was there, but and it is credited to James Gregory, the senior defenseman. So Darien, 2 goals here in the third period. They take a 3-2 lead with 7:15 left in the third.
And that's one of the things, I know they've been working on.
Darien's going to get called for a penalty.
A trip there in the corner.
Benedong.
You hate to take offensive zone penalties, but that was clearly a trip. Just a little bit of a lazy play by one of the Darien forwards.
This game continues to live up to its billing.
Yeah, indeed. But I started to say on Gregory's power play goal that one of the things that Darien hasn't been doing is taking the eyes away of the goaltender, and it's just so important to make it hard for the goalie to see, make it hard for him to move around. You get a defender in there, you get someone wanting to take his eyes away in the offensive team, and it just makes the goalie's job that much more difficult. He never saw that shot till it was behind him.
Good face-off by Bowden Gamble here.
So now the advantage back to New Canaan here as they go back on the power play.
Kick it in.
Nice play by Swiggett there. Pressuring Wheatfelt, right?
Yep,
that's Wheatfelt,
the junior.
Who I hear is headed off to Ann Arbor to play lacrosse in the future. Well, that's very exciting. Great opportunity.
He is indeed.
Being the parent of a Wolverine lacrosse player, I can tell him he's got nothing but good times ahead of him.
Here's New Canaan.
Here we go. Wheatfeld's a shot.
Great play by Blake.
Swiggett blocks it.
It's so important trying to find those lanes. You just got to get that puck through if you're the Rams. You may not have the lane you want, but that's just a turnover.
Buchanan's trying to work it high, and Darien's top 2 guys in the box are definitely playing the top of the dots, and they're giving Buchanan a little bit of a problem. Looks like they're trying to overload one side here.
Well, and the one thing, you talked about how aggressive Darien is on their kill, and the one problem is with that, if you do get beat on the wall, it can cause you problems. And the other thing, when you press that guy, he can't hurt you out there typically. So I think you got to mix it up a little bit. You can't always make it so obvious you're gonna pinch him. But I know Coach Bud wants him to play aggressively, and generally it works quite well.
Buchanan's got 2 power play goals tonight. Could use another one here. 5 minutes left.
Nice play by Stein. Can't get it out though. He fires it in the back of 2 players.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this one. 3-2. Darien clinging to a 1-goal lead as we are back to even strength here. Damian Andrew, Colin Ives, Bill Kirby joining you. Thanks for joining us for this DAF media broadcast of Varsity Boys Ice Hockey.
You know, we're inside of 5 minutes here, so I would imagine both coaches look to shorten the benches a little bit here. You're going to get your top kids out there as much as you can. You know, White's trying to hold on and preserve the lead. You want to get the puck deep. Unlike that play, turnover at the top of the circle, not smart by Darien. And conversely,
here comes Jack O'Hare.
Nice move by O'Hare.
And Feifel with a big stop.
Bites that one off. You know, Darien's done a nice job defensively this period. That's only the second shot by my count for the Rams here. They just haven't been able to get any pucks to the net this period. And that's another puck you want to get deep there. Yeah, that's just that's an assist to Black. Hathaway's gassed. He's got to get off, get a change.
There are a lot of guys on both sides, I think, that are getting gassed this late in the game here, Bill, it looks like.
Yeah, no, I mean, both teams have worked very hard, and it does take it, it takes it out of you. Offsides there. Buchanan will have a face-off in front of the Darien bench here with 3:30 to play. So what do you think, Colin? You want to come back on Saturday, do another game?
We're off.
I've enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks for coming. It's
great.
It's great. What's your fondest memory of your New Canaan High hockey days?
Get games like these, really.
Does anyone in particular stand out?
You know, honestly, the 3 years I played, 82 to 84, we had the better at Darien my sophomore year, and they had the better of us the next two.
Okay.
But I would say sophomore year we had some great games. That was the era of John Price and Mickey Hathaway's brother Andrew and Matt Elders, et cetera. And
I know Matt Elders is a very nice player.
You talked about this rivalry. The beauty of this is that you end up becoming a lot of friends with, very close friends with these guys.
Oh yeah, it's great. Certainly both my son and daughters have some really good friends that they played lacrosse and hockey against in high school, and that'll continue on for a long time.
Crunch time for the Rams here now.
Yeah, no, you're getting in. Once you get inside of 2 minutes, I'm sure Clark's going to look to pull Spain at his first opportunity and try and get the man advantage, get the puck deep, and go 6 on 5.
Yeah, Clark tends to be pretty aggressive, which I think is the right move in situations. He won't hesitate.
Well, there's no reason not to. I mean, whether you lose 3-2 or 4-2, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Here comes Granito with a nice move, and Stein battles back. Good battle there by both players. Nice move by Gunner, and equally nice play by Matt Stein there. Certainly if you're New Canaan and Gunner's a player, you're going to want to get the get the puck on his stick here down as we get closer to the wire here.
Oh, here we go. Nice move. Gunner.
Oh, great move by Gunner.
Oh, and he ties it. Feeds out to Griffin Dean. What a play by Gunner Granito.
Jesus.
Wow. And that is a goal for...
Yeah, Turner Ives dumped that in. Gunner Granito. Bill,
Major dishing there behind the goal line.
Holy crow. You've mentioned the hands several times tonight. There is it at the extreme. And gets it over, and Griffin Dean bangs it in again from almost the same spot. He scored the first goal.
Yep,
Nice
absolutely.
play by Dean, and clearly all those trips to Albany are paying off for the Granitos. Thank you, Frank. I'm still looking for an invite, actually. I'll throw that out there.
Me too.
Yeah, I've heard Hughes says it's really nice. I know, but I wouldn't know. Great play by Gunner and a nice finish by Dean. Feifel was down on his knees, and Gunner took 2 wipes at it, and it popped out to Dean, and he buried it. Just like that, inside of 2 minutes, New Canaan only had 2 shots, and I said, who do you want to get the puck to? It was Gunner.
You were right.
And they got 3 shots there quickly, and in a quick succession, and Dean was the 5th of those, and for the period, and that found the back of the net for the tying marker.
We got a 3-3 game with 1:50 left. Kind of surprised one of these coaches hasn't taken a timeout yet, but maybe it's faith in their own troops that they're going to get a break the other way here.
Well, you might like to save it for overtime.
Do you get an extra one in overtime or not?
Well, no, it would count as a win.
Campbell Lewis, wow, comes in.
Nice play by Feifel. I'm not sure how you get beat there after Darien for a pseudo breakaway with a minute left. Just got to be aware of you know, clock management there, time and space. Nice move by Bennett. Another kid with great hands.
Yep, that's for sure.
Love watching him play.
Puck down in the New Canaan defensive end with a minute to go here. 3-3 game.
Johnson's partner's wide open there. I'd like to see him move that puck across a little bit there. You get a ton of open ice on the weak side.
Walker Kerr moves it over to Wheatfeld. He skates it up. Here comes Bowden Gamble. He's got Granito.
Another kid with good hands.
Here comes Granito on a backhand again. Wow.
Didn't quite get full wood on that one. I think he was looking to go topside.
Puck in the neutral zone now. New Canaan dumps it in 30 seconds to go. Tied 3-3. Darien dumps it in.
New Canaan might have one last chance here. Darien going for a wholesale change. Nice play by Erickson. A poke check at the red line. Gamble, conversely, takes the puck back immediately. Under 10 seconds here.
Darien's going to get a shot here. Good save, Dylan
good
Shane.
save. And the rebound just eluded Bradley right on the doorstep.
Dylan Shane kicks a nice kick save, and we're going to overtime. 3-3 after 3 periods.
That's fitting. You know, I think we both agree. You know, great game and some timely broadcasting there too. I'll give myself a pat on the back. Thank you, Gunner. Oh, that's awesome.
Boy, it's funny as you look back on it, Bill. The second period, New Canaan seemed to dominate the first half of that period. Darien came back in the second half of the second period to seize the momentum. And in the third period, it was almost the reverse. New Canaan, I think Darien probably took it to New Canaan the majority of the period.
Yeah, they had them on their heels there for a minute. I mean, didn't have a ton of offense, but the puck was certainly down there a lot. And, you know, again, I think until they scored with minute 30-ish left, New Canaan only had 2 shots in the third period here until that little flurry that ended up leading to the third goal. So, great play by both teams, and it was a clean game and certainly fun to watch and even more fun to broadcast.
So we're almost 365 days from this game last year, and we're going back to overtime. And it was last year that Bennett McDermott that settled the score a few minutes in. So
yeah, I try to pay as much attention as I can, but sometimes I do miss some stuff. It's but certainly, you know, these games really disappoint, and tonight's no exception.
Want to apologize. We've had some issues with our internet again here at the Ice House, and so if you should still be seeing us on your our YouTube channel, but it's a little bit choppy. Our quality, we had to take a notch down. So
did we lose our audio?
No, we did not lose the audio.
I just want to make sure Granito, Frank heard my
heard the request.
Heard the request from Colin and I.
No, we've got free hockey here at the Darien Ice House. Tied at 3, Darien, New Canaan. And we drop the puck on this overtime session.
And this will be 8 minutes of sudden death.
Bennett, McDermott tries to get a shot on goal, couldn't quite get the handle on it. And, you know, this is something where you probably want to break it down into 2-minute segments, Colin, I guess, right?
I think that's right.
You know, just, 3 shifts or so, keep the shift short, kids are tired, but just play smart, get pucks to net, like Swigert tried to do there. Nice play by, is that Turner?
That's Turner.
Blocked that, nice play by him. You know, I mean, defense blocking pucks is so important, such a big part of the game. Nice look by Blake there.
Good save, Dylan Shane off a Swigert shot.
Swigert the shot, Shane the save. Just underway in this overtime session. Again, a shout out to our DAF media production crew. Sarah Bogdan on camera 1, Katie Duggan on our ice level camera, and Jack Roberson, our director.
Darien's registered the first shot here in overtime. Shots are 1-0. They finished 29-24 in favor of New Canaan during regulation.
It's New Canaan's senior line against Darien's sophomore line here in this second shift of overtime. Oh, here comes a 2-on-1 for New Canaan. It's going to be Knightley and Lewis.
Darien deep pinched and
Knightley, that shot sails wide of the near post. So an opportunity for New Canaan, 2-on-1. The puck slides in front of the goal, and here come the Blue Wave going the other way.
Yeah, the kids are definitely a little tired here.
Yeah, you can see it.
Looks like is that Kerr or that's Wheatfeld tackled Bradley there.
The refs are gonna.
They're gonna let him play.
They're gonna let him play.
As they should. Bradley reciprocates with a hook and no call there. So tit for tat.
Here comes Wheatfeld. He can skate. Oh, that's Knightley again.
Well, it's something you just got to remember. Keep your structure. Keep the third man high. You can't get 3 guys below the goal line in your own end. You don't want to give up any 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s.
Good job, Walker. Carey holds it near the far point. New Canaan gets fresh legs.
Yeah, smart play there. Watch the.
Gavin Reed moves it up. He needs to get that deep. Boy, Griffin Dean was looking for the hat trick there in overtime. That would have been nice. But Feifel deflects it into the screen.
Griffin Dean has had a big afternoon for the New Canaan Rams, the sophomore with 2 goals.
Yeah, he's got all his talent from his mother.
Certainly.
He played well against Richfield, I thought, too. He was one of a handful of kids who stood out to me. Really worked hard, got a great work rate. Seems to play the game, the right way, and is smart.
No, he's been a grinder, but he's got a good set of mittens, and that helps him a lot.
Offensive zone face-off for the Rams.
Well, the mittens certainly help. You can't grow them. You can't teach hands. You can teach a lot of stuff, but you either got them or you don't. Oh, we got a flat tire on the breakout there by somebody. Maybe Dyer lost an edge there. Better get in the blue line and get his skates tightened up.
Puck in the corner as Dayleader and Dyer go after it. New Canaan in the black. Skating from left to right in this overtime. Darien and the home whites.
Oh, nice pass
from
by
right
Granito to Dean, and they're going to get a change as the puck is
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
You don't you're tired. No sense to force it. You really want to keep these short here. 30 seconds, get off, get fresh legs out here.
Hathaway tries to get out for shot.
Another shot blocked by the
New Canaan
defense. Very, very smart play.
Puck in front of the New Canaan goal. Here's
Nice
Swiggett.
look by Swiggett.
Good patience by Gregory holding off on that shot.
Yeah, that was a smart play.
Nice block by Pickering again.
Yeah, just another example of trying to find a seam and get it deep. It's so important. That puck's behind the goal line. Otherwise now it's going the other way.
We're just about halfway through this sudden death period.
Here comes Gregory trying to gather a head of steam. Gets the puck over the red line. Goes wide on his wheels. Oh, great low shot by Gregory. Equally fine save there. Spain takes up a lot of cage. He's a big boy. Shane, excuse me.
Yeah, Dylan Shane.
My bad. Another shin pad for New Canaan. Oh, nice play by Hathaway.
There's Swiggett, and he tries to go top shelf, and it sails over the crossbar. And I think Shane may have gotten a glove on it.
Yeah, he did get a piece of it. It might have been a touch wide, but we'll give him a save on it anyway.
I think McDermott was looking for that
pass.
He
was open back door. He was wide open. He's going to mention that.
It looked like Shane was starting to cheat, so I could see what Blake was looking
at. There was a little something there.
There's no wrong play really on that.
No, it's easy up here, right?
Yeah.
That's one Bradley's reaching for. Just got to move his feet there, and he's got the puck in front of the cage. Just a little C-cut.
It's going to be an icing here.
Now they'll wave that off, I think, right?
Ooh, boy. Just in time.
I think the refs have done a nice job.
I think they have too.
The game's been level, and just a handful of penalties. For the most part, pretty obvious. I thought.
They're consistent.
They have. That's all you can ask for.
And here comes
3-on-1 for White.
Oh, nice save, Dylan Shane. Yeah. Well played by Justin Wheatfeld.
Yeah, it was nice play. probably like to see that puck go to the weak side there.
While we have a break in the action, I just want to tell all our viewers we've had some internet issues here, some hiccups. We will post this entire game after it's over on our YouTube page. We are recording on it, so if your internet keeps going in and out, we apologize. The Ice House here having some problems. 2:51 remaining in overtime, tied at 3. Damian Andrew, Bill Kirby, Colin Ives joining you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for, well, let's face it, one of the best rivalries in the state of Connecticut, if not the best.
Let's call it the best.
So, Colin, did you overlap with Chip or Jumbo at all up in the North Country?
Not with Jumbo, with Chip a little bit, but my freshman year I was not playing varsity, so I never played actually with Chip. It was
he's a good friend from home. Grew up playing against him, and
he's a great guy.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot for Middlebury hockey for sure.
I actually played with Jumbo's brother Dan.
Okay.
Sophomore, junior, senior year.
Okay.
Danny, yep.
Yeah, you're a little younger than my group. Chip was a good player.
Very good player.
Left New Trier High School outside Chicago, went to Hotchkiss, had a nice couple years there before he went up to Middlebury.
Here comes Wheatfeld.
He's had a strong game.
He can skate.
Line. Yeah.
And he's looking.
Nice play by Gregory to take it away. He's going to show you what he can do now, try and go the other way.
There's Gregory.
Oh, nice
play by Gavin
Reed.
Gavin Reed with a great effort on defense for New Canaan.
Just got that with his skate.
Pat Gore just made a nice effort avoiding stitches in his forehead.
That would have been right over to Norwalk Hospital for about a dozen.
Yeah. Boy, this has been a back and forth overtime period.
Back and forth. New Canaan calls a timeout. And we will take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more live hockey here on the DAF Media Network. Actually, we're going to keep it here as we take a look at the Darien bench. Great shot by our Katie Duggan.
You know, it's amazing, Damien. I look down and around and see so many kids in red and blue jerseys, and this is a testament to the job that guys like Mac Budd and Clark Jones, all of them have done with the youth hockey group, because as I think we all know, to keep these programs vital, you got to have it going at the grass level, and their involvement has certainly helped stoke the enthusiasm here.
Yeah, no, it sure has. I mean,
Pat Gore as well.
As Mike Chaffee's coach for DYHA.
Yep.
Jake Granito, I see, is on the bench for New Canaan. He's
Scotty
helped out
Lindy.
the Winter Club. Scotty, yep.
Yep.
Good group of guys, and I mean, I think they're down a couple right now. But when my kids were young, we had 12 Mite House teams in DYHA, and in addition to 3 travel teams, which is just a great way to kind of generate some interest in the game and give kids a taste of it. And a lot of them seem to stick with it.
And these coaches are also having their players go and run mite practices and stuff, which is great too, because that's really where you build the bond. I think.
Well, and it's great for the little kids, but it's important that the older kids learn to give back a little bit too.
Yep.
And I think a lot of guys do a good job with trying to foster that.
Here we go.
One should have stayed in the zone there. Erickson got a little cute with that.
Minute and a half left in sudden death.
Tied at 3.
Oh,
Nice look there.
Nice pass and a great Shane. Great save by Dylan Shane.
Dylan Shane has been spectacular in sudden death here, just holding his ground.
Yeah, nice play all along. Great pass by Gregory. Nice setup by Erickson to gain the zone. Got it to Moore, who fires it over to Bradley, and couldn't quite put that where he wanted to, I don't think, but Shane did a nice job cutting down the angle as well. Nice by Bennett.
Swiggett.
Oh, Swiggett got the winner.
Wow.
Nice play by Bennett McDermott. Wow, what a game.
Swiggett off the post. And there really wasn't much Shane could do on that. Swiggett made a great play.
Maybe Hank won't be complaining about that stick so much now.
Yeah.
I think it was worth the $200.
I think it was.
Blake Swiggett with the game winner in overtime 4-3, Darien beats New Canaan. It comes with 1:15 left in the extra session, and the Blue Wave will leave the Darien Ice House with a 4-3 overtime win over their arch rivals.
The only way that was going in was off the post, and that's exactly what he did.
No, I mean, Shane made a nice play. Just great patience by Swiggett. Here's a look at it right here.
Look here.
Fakes like he's going to go behind the goal, swings around in front.
Yeah, just a great play. Shane did everything he
could. Kind of put it off his stick, it almost looked like, right? Grabbed the top corner maybe.
It was definitely off the bar.
Well, that's a goal Blake's never going to forget. I think that's going to make putting the golf clubs away for a few months well worth it. He'll remember that for a long time.
He should have kept playing
golf. He should have kept playing. Well, you know, I think Weeburn's closed right now anyway, right? Oh, that was fun. That was really fun.
Wow, what a game.
Tough game to lose for New Canaan. They played great. They got nothing to hang their heads about.
Entertaining game from start to finish as soon as they dropped the puck in the first period. Very entertaining. Colin Eyes, your final thoughts on this one?
I think a great hockey game, really great hockey game. I think New Canaan's going to be very disappointed, but I think they played well. I think they played with poise and did almost everything that Coach Jones wanted them to do. And they should come out of this game with some confidence. But a great job by Darien to pull it off and come from behind to do it.
Yeah, no question. You know, well played by both teams. I think both coaches had good game plans, and from what I could tell from up here, I think the kids executed them. And you know, I'm sure if you asked Clark or Matt going into it, you know, they would have said it was going to be a tight game, and it certainly was. You know, well done. Both goalies played well. You know, ironically, shots ended up 30 aside.
Yeah.
With Darien having a few more in overtime, they were able to catch up. But that was a lot of fun. Tough to see somebody lose that one because both teams played great.
Absolutely.
But as you say, I think the New Canaan kids should walk away with a lot of confidence. You know, they just gave a Darien team who everything they could handle, and you know, again, Darien gave Ridgefield everything they could handle a few weeks ago. So New Canaan should walk away with some confidence there for sure.
I have a feeling these two teams have not seen the last of each other.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, as we talked about earlier, I mean, clearly Ridgefield seems a cut above everybody else this year. That line's awfully tough to stop. They've got a great goaltender in Gordon. You know, well-coached group, and a lot of those kids have been there the last couple of years. They've been to on the big stage. But then after that, you know, I think Greenwich has been up and down, but certainly they look like they're playing a little better lately. New Canaan's continuing to improve. Darien's playing better of late. You know, you got the West Havens, Notre Dame.
Northwest Catholic is up there.
Catholic, obviously very good as well. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, they got a part of their schedule to see how it's coming to them. It'll be interesting to see how they do.
And Xavier's another team you can't forget about. They're certainly a quality program. I think they've had a little bit of turmoil up there. They had an awfully tough schedule. I don't think they'd played a home game until right before Christmas, if maybe even after. They've spent a bunch of time up in Rhode Island. Massachusetts played a very tough schedule. So they'll be another team that's going to be a tough out for somebody in the first round of states.
So Darien improves to 9-4, 4-1 in the FCIAC. New Canaan drops to 7-6 overall, 4-2 in the FCIAC. Want to thank both Bill Kirby and Colin Ives once again. Colin, I told you you'd have a good time, and you certainly did.
Certainly did.
Great chemistry between you and Bill on the mic. I want to give a shout out to our DAF media production crew. Camera 1, Sarah Bogdan. Camera 2, in the penalty box was Katie Duggan, and our director was Jack Roberson. Did a terrific job bringing you all the visuals of this one. Again, want to apologize for some hiccups late in the game. We were able to stay on, but some hiccups with our internet connection here at the Darien Ice House. So, for Bill Kirby, Colin Ives, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a presentation of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Once again, Darien beats New Canaan 4-3 in overtime. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.
Thanks, Damian.
Thank you.